For this video, we're using the workbook called Basic Steps, and we're working on the sheet called Select. As you get more used to working with Excel, you'll find that it's often quicker and easier if you can select your data using the keyboard, especially if you're working with large data. We're going to look at using both the Ctrl key and the Shift key to help us carry this out. Let's click on to cell E1. And if you saw the last video, you'll know that when you hold down Ctrl and press the down arrow once, the selection will drop down to the last cell of the dataset, i.e. the bottom of this column. Then Ctrl and up arrow brings you to the first cell of the dataset, i.e. the top of this column, as it will come back into play later. For now, we're going to see how the Shift key works. The Shift key is generally situated above the Ctrl key, and it usually has an up-pointing arrow on its button. So hold down the Shift key and press the down arrow key once. Now, still holding the Shift key, press the down arrow again, and we'll see that the Shift key keeps the selection on the first cell, E1, and extends the highlight to where the arrow keys have taken us, E3. Keep holding Shift and press the up arrow, and once more. Now try Shift and right arrow, then Shift and left arrow, and keep going. Then Shift and right arrow back to the original cell. So as we know, the arrow keys move us in a particular direction, but when we add the Shift key, it keeps the selection on the original cell and extends the highlight to the cells that we move to. Now we also know that when we use the Ctrl key with the arrow keys, that the Ctrl key drops us to the beginning or end of a column or row. So now we're going to see how we use them all together. So make sure you're on cell E2, hold down both Ctrl and Shift, and press the down arrow once. And that highlights the entire column. The Ctrl key is what makes it drop to the bottom of the column, and the Shift key is what makes it extend the highlight. But maybe we don't want to include the total in cell E22 in the highlight. No problem at all. Just hold down the Shift key only and press the up arrow once. To completely deselect and return to the top of the column, hold down Ctrl and up arrow. We can use the arrow keys to move to cell A2, and we'll highlight this entire row this time. Hold down both the Ctrl and Shift keys and press the right arrow once. Again, we might not want to include the total, which is in cell N2 in our highlight, so hold down the Shift key only now and press the left arrow once. To completely deselect and return to the start of the row, hold down Ctrl and left arrow. To select the entire table, it doesn't matter what cell in your table is selected, as long as that selection is inside the table or dataset. Hold down the Ctrl key and press the letter A once, and the entire table is selected. There are many different keyboard shortcuts that can be used for selection purposes within Excel, but the ones that I've just shown you would be the most commonly used of all and are really worth knowing. Take the time to practice them, but I will be using many of them in later videos. Our next video will show some basic formatting, so if you're moving on to that next video called Basic Font and Cell Formatting, then you can keep this workbook open.